Rose Cartwright and actor Charly Clive, who plays Marnie. Morning, both. So Rose, you can explain first of all. It's called Pure O. What you're talking about in this drama. What is that?
So Pure O is just a nickname for one way that OCD manifests. People tend to think of OCD as being about sort of obsessive cleanliness or tidiness. And it can be about those things, but it can also manifest as intrusive, unwanted thoughts, often of a taboo nature, violent thoughts, sexual thoughts that people compulsively try to get out of their mind. It's not very well known, but hopefully with the show it'll become more known.
Is that what sort of, that fact that, I suppose when most people hear of obsessive compulsive disorder, they think about hand washing. Is that one of the things that sort of drove you to write this and to get it out there?
Yeah, I think I got to the point when I was 27. I'd been living with this for over a decade, largely in secret, and I realised that I was in possession of a story that had kind of never been told before, and it was sort of irresistible. I just felt it had to be told.
And Charlie, when you first saw the script and heard about it, you also, I think, were in a position like we didn't know what it was about.
No, I'd never heard of it. I'd never heard of Pure O.
Yeah.
When I read the script, I wasn't sure. I didn't know at the time it was based on Rose's memoir, so I didn't know if Pure O was a real thing or if it was something for the show. And then, obviously, when I got the role and read Rose's book and met Rose and realised what it was, I couldn't really believe that we hadn't been talking about it before. And so yeah, it's really exciting that people are going to see it and people are going to hear the story.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because you feel, when you read about it, you feel you've got a level of ignorance of how did I know this doesn't go on, which is it's the power of that story being able to be told.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also I feel like it's very relatable for, there are so many different kinds of OCD, lots of different kinds of anxiety, and I think that hopefully it will be, it's a comedy drama, so hopefully it will be accessible and relatable for lots of different people.
And just talk to us, because she's not called Rose, is she? She's called Marnie in the drama. Is that good for you to have a little bit of kind of space between the two?
Yeah, you know, brilliant screenwriter Kirsty Swain, she never wrote the character Marnie to mimic me. Charlie didn't perform the character to mimic me. I didn't want to be mimicked. In the early drafts of the script, Marnie was called Rose, and I was like, no, I can't. I need that level of distance, and I think that's actually been really helpful, because when you're like analysing scripts and talking about characterisation, I don't want to talk about myself in the third person. I think that would have been really weird.
But I saw the beginning of it, and some of it is quite shock. Well, I think probably, would you agree, a bit of a shock? Would you say that? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It was quite a shock to film as well.
But it sort of, it gets the point across about what is going through your mind, and some people do struggle with.
Yeah, I think it should be shocking. Yeah, we didn't want to sugarcoat it. You know, we wanted to kind of hit people over the head with it and go like, you know, spend 5 minutes in my mind.
How vital was Rose in you sort of developing the character, your conversations that you had, in addition to what you saw on the paper in front of you?
For me, it was having Rose be as part of it as she was totally essential. I was really concerned that I wanted my portrayal of Marnie as someone who has this condition should be really authentic. And so having Rose on set at various points and knowing that I could call Rose or meet up with Rose and ask her questions was so important, because if Rose thought that we were setting the right tone and hitting all the right marks, then that was a hugely important point of view.
And Rose, let's just go back to your writing, because you originally wrote this as a memoir, didn't you? And was that difficult to even start writing it as a memoir back in the day?
It was really hard. I'd kept this secret because I was so ashamed. I felt so guilty about my thoughts, and I was so confused by them from the age of 15 to my mid-20s. And actually, the process of getting it down on paper, that was the only way that I felt that I could talk about it, because it took me a long time to kind of learn the vocabulary, because this was something that I had censored for so long. But when it came to it, actually writing it down was so cathartic.
Can I ask you, it might be an ignorant question, how do you deal with it now? And how do you deal with it differently to how you were when you were a teenager, when you found it really difficult?
Yeah, well, the thing is with OCD is that people get caught up in compulsive behaviours. They try to figure out what their thoughts mean, or they try to suppress their thoughts or push them out of their mind, doing anything they possibly can to not have these thoughts. and that just ties you in knots. So to get better from OCD, the thing you need to do is actually learn to stop doing all those behaviours and kind of let the thoughts wash over you. And it's really hard because it hurts and it's scary, but you can gradually learn to lessen the anxiety by just habituating to the thoughts.
Gosh. And Charlie, this is your first TV role, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm very
excited for you.
Yeah, it's been mad. It's been really, really cool.
Will you watch it live as it goes out then, or are you going to...
Yeah, I am. I will. I want to press it. I want to just press it on TV, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I want
totally.
to just do that. That's what I'm looking forward to most at the moment. I'm really excited.
Excellent. It's really lovely to meet you. Thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you.
And it begins this Wednesday, 10 o'clock on Channel 4.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you two.